everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Lonely Sluts podcast. I'm Claire.
And I'm Sarah.
And this episode is titled Yep. We're going to be talking about communication, specifically with boys, and the problems we've had in the past communicating with them, and our frustrations about that. Surprise, we're going to complain a lot. Especially featuring Snapchat. I would like to start this by posing the question, why do you think boys use Snapchat as their main means of communication so often?
Maybe they're just better than us, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
We are forgetful little dummies, and they just have incredible elephant's memories, and they remember everything. But I'm my mother's daughter, and I forget things quite easily. As I'm saying them, instantly forget.
I think it's really optimistic of you to give them the benefit of the doubt like that. But I think there's a new kind of social dynamic going on where Snapchat is even less formal than texting. I think it's like Snapchat is the most casual, and then texting is next, because you actually have to say words when you're texting. You can't just send a picture of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if you did, though.
I would feel so uncomfortable if I just I'm like, oh, I got a photo message. I'm like, oh, just their face. No words.
No words. But on Snapchat, that's fine. And so you don't actually have to, like, have anything to say. So, yeah, Snapchat, texting, calling, and then, like, FaceTiming. Oh, in person, yeah. I prefer anything besides Snapchatting. I hate texting, too, but anyway. That is to say, I spend so much time on Snapchat. I say I hate it, but I can't quit it. I looked up my phone usage, like my screen time. I spend, I don't know if this is over the course of a week or over the course of a day. I think it's over the course of a day, and I really
makes
don't.
It more concerning.
Yeah, I really don't want to, like, out myself, but 57 minutes.
A day?
A day.
That's not that bad. There's so many minutes in a day.
Okay, good, thanks.
And I'm so sure that that's spread out.
Yeah,
And
it
here's
says,
the 57 minutes I devote to Snapchat starting now.
I pick up my phone 7 times per hour. And, or at least today I picked it up 7. Mm-hmm. This is just today's stats. Which I wasn't at work, so these are probably skewed a little bit.
I feel like at work you probably don't have the
less
same
frequently. Yeah. It says the first app used after pickup, 28 of my pickups was Snapchat, which is the first one. But I also would say that I'll get a Snapchat message, and that is why I pick up my phone. But, I don't know. I think that's a little skewed. And then today I got 190 notifications. 48 of those were Snapchat.
Miss Popularity.
Yeah, I'm just so freaking cool. Got all these friends who just want to Snapchat.
Are they really your friends? They just want to Snapchat?
Depends on the definition of friend. But yeah, I obviously use Snapchat a lot. But I like to use it, today, Sarah and I today were in the same room, but they have these games on Snapchat where you can, like, play checkers, which we did with penguins for, like, an hour. And they have, like, this dots game and they have different games, like, different days, honestly. And I think that's what Snapchat's for. Like, you play, like, little silly games, or you send, like, a silly face.
I would argue probably for people you're not sitting 3 feet away from.
Well, we are not typically 3 feet away from each other. This has been an outlier.
It should not have been counted.
But, yeah, like, it's a means of just, like, a quick little thing. Like, it's,
like, a fleeting, just like, oh, that was cute, or like, that was funny.
Yeah. So that's something thought of you, not meant to be, like, a means for making plans, or
long, drawn-out conversations, or arguing. I hate getting into tiffs over Snapchat, because I can't even remember half the things that are upsetting, or, like, I don't have any evidence for what I'm trying to say, if that makes any sense.
You can save it by holding it down, and then it stays in your message, like, it turns gray, and then it stays in the message thing. But then they know you saved it,
that's so
and you can't even screenshot I hate that about Snapchat, too. I've kind of just started screenshotting with abandon, being like, yeah, I get that notification, what are you gonna do?
She's bold.
Yeah, I've reached the end of my rope is what I've done. So you can't go back and look at what you've said, which is really terrible for anything.
So many reasons. I just, with one of my, like, best friends, Brenna, shout out to Brenna, we love you, she sent me something, and I took a little while in responding, and by the time I had responded, she had forgot what she had sent me, and then we essentially were just in a circle of us both saying that we kept forgetting what the other one had said before, and I'm like, this is hilarious, but also so sad.
What is your opinion about Snapchat streaks? Do they have any value to your life?
Oh, they have no value. I don't think I have any. I haven't had any for, safe to say, like, years. Or if I do, it's one of those, like, it's probably, like, 3 to, like, 8 days, and then it's, like, broken. Like, we're not trying to maintain anything. I can't remember, honestly, the last time I had a snap streak with someone.
I'm looking at my phone right now, and I have 2 snap streaks. One is with my brother. It's for 53 days. And the other one is with Fishpick. And it's 93 days, which is very impressive. That's the longest snap streak I've ever had. Yeah. And no credit to myself for that. That's 100% him.
Effort on his part.
Yeah. Which, like, I'm kind of proud of it at this point, which I shouldn't be. I'm like, wow. My phone was crapping out on me yesterday. Like, my phone I thought was just going to 100% die. And
were you scared about losing the
snap
streak?
Yes! That was a thought I had. I was like, shit, I'm going to lose my snap streak. So that's probably, like, really unhealthy. But I don't actively try to, like... That's the only one that I've ever cared about. And it's just because it's so much further than any of the other snap streaks I've had. And I know there's people with, like, really long ones.
I think the most frustrating thing from snap streaks, I think I just have a small, like... annoyance with how people will send things purely just for
the snap streak.
The snap streak, like they'll just send a snap and it'll just say like streak, snap streak.
You know what the kids do?
And then
they just draw an S. Yeah, they draw an S over the whole picture for streak.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Gotta maintain that. It's for your clout.
It's
Yep. Okay, so I actually did a little bit of research. Not a lot, just a little bit. A lot of articles in 2017 about snap streaks, and I don't know why. But according to Business Insider, they talked to teens about why snap streaks were important. And I said maintaining your clout a second ago, and that's kind of true. Snapchat is one of the only social medias that does not have a follower count. And so the streak is your proof of friendship. It's visual evidence, and it makes you feel popular.
I can see that. I mean, I don't do that, but I can see other people.
This is like, they're talking to like 13 and 15-year-olds. These are like younger teens. But we didn't have Snapchat when we were that young.
No, it came out in 2011, so I was in 11th grade. I'm assuming you were as well, because we're the same age. But I didn't even get it then, because I had it. Like a good phone until I went to college.
Well, I don't think snap streaks were a thing. And even if they were, like, they existed, they weren't like a
there was not
symbol.
As many fun gadgets and gizmos and all that stuff within the app itself. Like, there wasn't as many indicators for things. Like, there's so many indicators now. They also have those emojis for, like, the accomplishments and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For... like
they're like trophies.
Yeah, the trophies. That's what
I have some, and I don't know what I don't care about them, and I don't know what they mean. Sometimes it'll just be like new trophy, and I'm like, neat.
Yeah, some of them are just so random, but yeah, that definitely wasn't there. I don't think at the beginning.
Okay, so this Business Insider article, they interviewed a bunch of kids, and this is the part that I thought was crazy. It says if somebody got their phone taken away, which happens when you're 13 to 15 years old. They would ask their friends to log into their Snapchat account and maintain their streaks.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a step beyond.
First off, that's too much power. I would never trust my friends to do that.
Oh, yeah, especially my age 13 to 15-year-old friends.
Yes. Maybe we just had shit friends, but...
No, I don't trust them now.
No, well, that's true. But they, would take my phone and text guys, like,
yeah, that was the big thing.
Stuff.
If you were ever still logged into anything, they would post on your Facebook and Twitter and everything, just silly things. If you left their phone, like, or if you left your phone somewhere, they would go on it and text people and, like, take pictures and, like, do all that stuff.
I don't know.
I think I have trust issues because I don't like people having my phone.
Oh, no, Maybe the streak is more important.
the streak matters lives on.
And then I found another article, also from 2017, from a website called Mindset Digital, which I don't know anything about. And it was really just an anecdote from this dad who drives his daughter to school. And he was like, yeah, our conversations really dropped since she's been maintaining her snap streaks on the morning commute. And
it's a little sad.
Yeah, it is. But he was talking about how it's become gamifying communication, which is like, if you have a longer snap streak, you can win. Or like apps do this a lot where it's like, keep the streak going, log in again today to get up.
Yeah, like when you get a push notification on your phone and it's like, don't let this go away, or like anything like that. Like, don't let the streak go away.
And so like that's gamifying. And it takes 66 days to form a habit, according to this article.
Oh, I thought it was 21.
I don't know. I didn't like...
He times it by 3.
Well,
a little over timesing it by 3.
66 days you have a habit formed. In that case.
It's like a fourth of a year.
Yeah. But he said 66 days. But the point is, like, you have your streak, which counts your days. Mm-hmm. So you're, like, incentivized to maintain that. So that's fun. What do you think about the little emojis next to the name?
Oh, that indicate
like,
how
you're like
good of friends you are on Snapchat. Let me look. I don't even know if I have.
Okay, I Snapchat few people. Snapchat frequently, but not a very large selection of people. And it is so unbelievably easy to get into my best friends. There's this guy who, if you follow us on Twitter, I tweeted about him. He is Bible verse bicep boy. He's very, very boring, and we'll get to that. But he was Snapchatting me, and we Snapchatted. We had a 4-day streak before I let that die. And he's still in my best friends. I haven't talked to him on Snap in... well, I guess I talked to him Tuesday? Anyway, it's been a while. And he's still in my best friends. And I have only Snapchat him literally like once a day for those 4 days. And he's like my number 2 best friend.
Oh, you want to talk about something even sadder than that? About how easy it is to get into my best friends? I have 5. One of them is your brother, who I snapped for the first time ever yesterday.
Yeah, if you want to be in our Snap best friends,
just send me one. You'll be there forever.
I think I probably have to send like 2 to get there.
She's got standards.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm really popular. No.
I feel like I have to come out and say that was a lie.
Yeah, I'm only moderately popular. No. Okay, so do you know how they have the little hearts to indicate that you're mutual best friends? Mm-hmm. I don't even know. I know there's the yellow heart, which I have achieved. And then after that, I don't even know.
I have no idea. You're talking to a girl that only has the smiley faces.
Yeah, I have the smiley faces. Do you remember back in the day when it used to list your best friends?
I honestly, that sounds like it happened.
It did. So it would be like, it would list like your top 3 Snap best friends. And it would cause so much drama. I mean, at that point in time, I wasn't really...
It was like a resurgence of the MySpace top 8.
Yeah. But it wasn't like you could pick them. It was just like stats-based. Yeah. Which I kind of miss because I live for the drama. But, like, we're not in school anymore. Like, that was like a very high school situation. Mm-hmm. And who cares now, you know?
Yeah, through this conversation, I've realized that I actually Snapchat way less than I, A, thought I did, and B, way less than you.
Yeah, it's unhealthy, and I don't like that about myself. But I'm playing the Tinder game pretty hard right now, and all the boys on Tinder are like, what's your Snap?
I know. I think it's just because, A, like you said, it's way more casual than anything else.
Which is stupid.
B, if they actually secretly are talking to other people or dating someone or doing stuff, there's not
no evidence.
There's no evidence.
You can delete your text. Not like I'm saying, but like,
guys, just delete your text.
Delete your text. You can cheat. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that.
But also, I think they just think it'll just really easily devolve from normal conversation straight into just exchanging nudes. They're like, at any given moment, I can have boobs.
Well, maybe.
I mean, like, it can happen, but that's what I'm assuming is, like, maybe some, subconsciously some inspiration for why they may be.
No, I think it's definitely, like, explicit. That's their goal.
They're like, no, I want that.
Yeah, they're, like, I don't really use, I mean, Snapchat has a rep for being a sexting app.
I mean, when it first came out and all you knew about it was you can send pictures, but you can't save them and they instantly go away. And everyone was like, well, we know what that means.
I've very rarely, well, I've used
it for scandalous purposes.
Yeah, well, I've used Snapchat Messenger more so than the picture feature for that.
That's interesting.
Do you want to know why? Because I don't want to have to read what I wrote. I never want to know. I don't want to think about it anymore. I want it gone. Yeah. Because then I don't have to face myself.
Be like, oh, I said that. I thought that was a good thing to say.
Nope. And then it's gone and nobody can go back and check it. Regrets. But, yeah. Sorry, I'm having like some PTSD about t-shirt and some things that happened.
Oh no.
I hate myself and I hate him. Yeah, okay, so let's get down to it. So, T-Shirt, who I introduced in a previous episode, is a boy that I was involved with in some capacity. We did not date. And if he ever listens to this, I want him to know that I didn't think we were dating and I didn't want to date him. Anyway, but we were involved.
She doesn't hold a grudge.
No, he just followed me on Instagram today and I've got
feelings about it.
Yeah, like a resurgence of anger. Yeah, no, I actually have a lot to say on the topic of T-Shirt and Snapchat. Because he asked for breaths. Yeah, I'm breathing. He asked for my number. Well, we saw each other every day, like, or at least like 5 times a week at work. And which this is a whole mistake. Yeah. Anyway, but
don't get involved with your coworkers, people.
Don't. Yeah, I make bad choices. But I saw him in real life is a point, like on a very regular basis. And he had the opportunity to ask for my phone number there, and it would have made a lot of sense to ask for it in that context because he kind of needed it. But he opted to ask for it over Facebook, which I thought was weird, but also could be like, still like, not super crazy. But as soon as he got my number, he did not text me because I didn't have his number. He wasn't like, oh, hey, this is T-Shirt. Well, it'd be weird if he had said, hey, this is T-Shirt. But he didn't give me like his name or whatever. He like didn't text me at all. He added me on Snapchat right away. I was like, oh, I know where this is going. Like as soon as he added me on Snapchat, I was like, I know what he wants.
Yeah, like if any of my coworkers that like could potentially ever be romantically interested in me would just like were to suddenly add me on Snapchat, I'd be like, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting move there.
Yeah, you're like, oh. I don't have it. Well, I was going to say, I don't have
You're not going to be asking for me to cover your shifts over Snapchat.
Yeah. You shouldn't, if that's your plan.
I won't remember to.
No, okay, so he added me on Snapchat first, and then he texted me later, which is good. I guess. I don't know. I have his number now, is the point. And I have him blocked on Snapchat. Because I don't want him to see my shit. Anyway, he exclusively messaged over Snapchat. And so I was like, all right, I'll bite. Because I was like, I was interested in speaking with him. And I was like, if this is how we're talking, this is how we're talking. I was willing to put up with it for that. Which I have so many regrets about. And, I don't know. That ran its course, I would say. Or rather, he ghosted me, which is very frustrating. Which is also annoying because I still saw him at work and had to act like I wasn't so mad. And also butthurt because I was. I got my feelings hurt bad. And I didn't like it. Anyway, so I was in the process of getting over that. And Sarah was in town, as happens sometimes. And we went out and I definitely put up bait. 100%. I put it up and I was like, teacher's gonna look at this and he's gonna text me or snap me. And guess what happened? It worked. And he messaged me and it was the end of the night. It was probably like 3 a.m. We had made it back.
Oh yeah, no, I was incredibly tired at this point,
Sarah,
and I was tired, you were wired.
Well, we were winding down. We had gotten back. We were sitting on the couch debriefing, as one does when you get back from downtown to, like, rehash the night. And I get a message from T-Shirt for the first time in months. And my blood pressure goes up. It freaking skyrockets. My face turns red. My ears get red.
I was very concerned as a bystander because she suddenly just starts shaking.
That's God. Yeah, no. But he messaged, and I was like so angry. I was like so mad. And he said something totally innocuous, which like should not have been confrontational, but I was in such a, like, I got so mad. Also, like, you know, might have been drinking a little bit while we were out. Anyway, so I reply, and I go, I'm mad at you over Snapchat Messenger. And he's like, LOL, what? Or, I can't remember. This has been months now, but I picked a fight.
Oh, you laid into him.
I did. I was like, why did you ghost me? And so it's like 3 a.m. Sarah's asleep on the couch. I'm on the other end of the couch.
I start pulling a mom move, and I'm like, I'm just resting my eyes. And she's like, just seething on the other end, like gently shaking, telling me that she feels dizzy. And I'm like, oh no.
It's because my blood pressure went up so fast. I had like a very physical reaction to this anger, which is not healthy, but nothing about that was healthy. But yeah, no, my blood pressure shot up so high, and I was just mad. And we get in the Snapchat Messenger argument, confrontation at 3 a.m. And I don't know if he had been drinking, but why was he up at 3 a.m. otherwise?
Yeah.
I mean, like, maybe he was working. Either way, it wasn't a great way to handle that. But, that's pretty characteristic of our relationship, me and him.
Yeah, I used to, like, study abroad, spoke on Snapchat all the time, and we'd get into, like, arguments, or I'd tell him that I wanted to stop talking to him, usually while drunk, over Snapchat, and, like, we'd get into these, like, things, and I hated it so much because the next morning I'd be like, what did we even talk about? Like, what was said? Like, I can't remember, like, everything that was brought up. I just know that it's weird now, and I have no evidence as to why, other than my hazy drunken memories. Like,
well, like, also, I couldn't tell my friends. I, like, you know, I'm a news reporter, so I try to tell everybody, like, what's going on in my life when I have news. Yeah. And I wanted to be like, yeah, and he said this, and I said this, because I can't keep a damn thing to myself. But I couldn't share it because I didn't have the messages. They were gone. Yeah. And I was like, what happened? And I have
to be like, I think I said something along these lines.
I can't remember. It was just not good for my brain. Ugh. Anyway, I am presently speaking to Fishpick exclusively over Snapchat. And Fishpick, if you're listening, because I know you do sometimes, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with what we're doing.
We may have just complained for 20 minutes straight.
We're not fighting over Snapchat.
We're making plans.
Yeah, I mean, we're not.
But you're not making serious, like, day-to-day, like...
Yeah. We're not trying to figure out logistics. Yeah. They're vague, like...
You're just I might be in town in this month.
Yeah, exactly. That's the extent of the plans. Which is perfectly what I want. Anyway, yeah, so Fishpick, ignore that part. Well, don't ignore it. Listen, take note. But, like, we're cool. Anyway, the thing about it, too... I get these messages that are conversation starters. I will reply... and then I get a dead end. Like, this is...
I hate that so much.
This is not exclusively a Snapchat problem. This is a communication problem in general. Either texting or Snapchat or any form where you're not, like, speaking with your voice. Because, okay, first off, 70% of communication is nonverbal. And so when you can't see somebody, that removes all of that. And then I can't remember the breakdown. I wish I had looked this up. But then another larger percentage is your intonation. And the smallest percentage of what your meaning is conveyed by is the words. So, like, you're already taking away the majority of your tools for communication when you're sending just words. And if you don't, like, ask questions, even if you're trying to be engaging, you're not going to be engaging. So, like, the reason this episode is titled Yep Yep is because I have a gentleman who will send me a photo with a caption, and I will reply something, and he'll go, yep, yep. And it makes me want to throw my phone out the window. Or, like, I'll leave him on, I won't answer because I'll be like, that's a dead end. And then, like, 10 minutes later, I'll get another message with a conversation starter, and we'll do the whole thing again. And I don't understand what the motivation is there.
This is going back to what we mentioned a couple episodes ago, what Vincent Miller was afraid of with this fat communication, where it's communicating solely for, like, just communicating and being social, and, like, no information's being shared, nothing meaningful is being shared. It's just kind of being like, hey, how are you? Oh, cool, me too, yeah, yep.
Oh, God, okay.
Good. And it's so frustrating.
Can I talk about Bible verse bicep? He,
good old BVB.
Yep. Bible verse bicep boy. He got my number, and he started texting me, and he was like, hey, and I was like, hey, and that's been the extent of our conversation, is he'll be like, what's up? And I'll be like, oh, I'm at work, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm at work. And he doesn't, and there's no punctuation, and it's all, I'm trying to find a good example right now. It's just so boring. It's the most boring conversation I've ever had. Like, we're not exchanging any information that matters at all. And I'm like, what's the point? What are you getting out of this? I'm not enjoying this. And so I quit talking to him.
Like, the two things I get from conversations like that are either A, you don't actually want to talk to me, or B, you just have nothing to say and or are kind of dumb.
Do you know Highlights Magazine?
The thing I used to do in dental offices?
Yes. This is a kid's magazine, and it's definitely, like, in doctors' waiting rooms and stuff. Do you know the cartoon Goofus and Gallant?
Yes.
Where it's like, Goofus never makes his bed. Gallant always makes his bed. Okay, so, like, Goofus and Gallant, right? Bible verse bicep boy, he's Goofus. This other guy from Tinder, who doesn't have a nickname, who I'm afraid is going to be weird, he's going to be Gallant in this scenario. Even though I said I'm afraid he's going to be weird. He texted, and he was very engaging. We made plans, and then he says, great, I'll check in with you on Monday. And I haven't heard from him since, but I feel great about it.
No, that's like best case scenario.
Yeah. And he was, like, asking, he was like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, cool. And then he, like, built, like, you know, we were having a conversation where he was like, oh, so you do this? I do this. What's your thing like? And I was just like, wow, look at you showing interest and having thoughts. And we exchanged, like, probably, like, 12 to 15 text messages, solidified a game plan to meet for drinks, and
left it at that.
And he's like, I'll touch base closer too. And I'm like, perf, thanks. Because there's nothing I hate more than maintaining contact for the sake of maintaining contact.
Yeah, no, I don't, like, just to say that you talked that day, basically.
Like, what are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. That's the worst conversation. I'm not 12.
Yeah,
How old are you in 7th grade?
About 12.
Yeah. That's the kind of shit I was doing when I was in, like, middle school, and I was, like, texting boys. Be like, hey, haha.
You know, well, also you want to know what we were doing? Playing 20 questions.
Oh, here's the thing, though.
I
would play 20 questions again. I loved that so much.
No.
I felt like, no, I loved it. I was like, I'm getting really intimate with this guy. I know his favorite color.
I would just hate it because it would always devolve into me being like, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? And they'd be like, chocolate. What would you be doing if I was there right now?
Eating chocolate ice cream? No, okay, yeah, no. BVB, he was... I am a bitch. I realize now that I'm thinking about this. But he texted me that he was in the shower, which is such an 8th grade boy move. Such an 8th grade
It
boy
was
move.
yikes central.
Yeah. And I was just like pretending like it wasn't awful. And I was like, a good shower can change your life. And then he said, and a good cuddle. And so, you know, that reaction, I texted him and I said, I really can't explain how much I hate that to you. Like, I really can't explain how much I hate that you just said that.
Mhm.
And he goes, what? Why? And I was like, I was just transported back to 2008 talking to any guy. And he was like, oh, well, nothing's going to happen between us for a long time. And I'm like, oh, Bo, I'm not like, if you think that's the problem, you're talking to the wrong girl. Like, I'm not worried about that. It's just your approach that's just cringe city.
It's just the things you do and the words you say.
Yeah, it's just the way that you are that makes me not interested. It's not like, does he think I'm afraid?
Of committing to cuddles?
Well, I am afraid of committing to cuddles. I don't mind touching boys, but I don't like cuddles as a concept.
I don't like feeling trapped, and I've been told this by multiple people, and I know this about myself. I like trap heat, and I'm a human furnace. And that might be nice for cold people, but it just
weird.
makes me...
We slept in the same bed last night, and she took all the blankets, and she woke up this morning, and she was like, I'm so hot. And I'm like, yeah, of course you are.
That was unintentional.
I know, you were asleep.
But I get hot very easily, and then I just want to die. An appropriate response.
Anyway, the point is, I don't want you to say, oh, I just got out of the shower and I want to cuddle. Like, that's just so cringy. I just can't deal with it. I'm not afraid of, like, physical contact. Like, that's something I'm very down with.
Yeah, when I hear that type of stuff, I just think of, like, really cringy nice boys as well.
Oh.
Like, the guys who are like, I'm not looking to hook up. I'm just looking for, like, someone to nap and cuddle with. And I'm like,
well, I'm looking for both.
Buy a dog.
Buy a dog. So, we've established that boys could be terrible on all kinds of means of communication. But what would your preferred method of communication be? Like, if you had your druthers?
If I had my druthers, I would, in a perfect world, like, it would be face-to-face all the time.
Oh, agreed, yeah.
But if I had to do it via, like, the phone somehow, probably just a call. Like, a call would be, like, the preferred. If I liked this guy and we had already established, like, a rapport and, like, we already knew each other and I knew him well enough to talk on the phone. Just because you can get, like, the intonations.
Oh, yeah, that's so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, you still don't have the body language, which, I mean, like, I guess you could get over FaceTime, but FaceTime is not what I want to do.
Yeah, I just don't like FaceTime that much, TBH.
I don't like having to look good. That's my problem with Snapchat, too. Like, Snapchat and FaceTime have the same downfall of you having to, like, look presentable.
I think the problem with FaceTime for me is I get too focused on, like, literally my own face, and I'm not paying attention as much to what's happening in the conversation or, like, paying attention to them because I'm like, oh, wow, like, I've been sitting in this angle and I look really bad, or, like, I need to move, or, like, my hair looks super frizzy, or just stuff like that. So that's...
A phone call?
Yeah, I do a phone call. And then texting. It's phone call and then texting, and then...
Yeah, agreed. Phone call first preference. In, like, middle school, again, I had so much game, apparently. But, like, I was always on the phone with a boy. I was, like, talking on the phone with boys, like, all the time.
I talked on the phone a lot more when I was in middle school than I do
I talk on the phone a lot now. But another good thing about, like, talking on the phone or speaking when you're using your voice as opposed to, like, writing back is you don't have to worry about response time. Like, if somebody says something on the phone, you're not going to be like, I have to wait 10 minutes.
Like, hold that thought. Yeah.
What's it? Okay, so what is your policy on Snapchat response times?
I think I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to that because I am famously bad for not responding immediately. Like, I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, like, my friend snapped me, and I recognize that it happened.
Do you open it?
No.
Me neither.
And I either completely forget about it until I just want to make the notification go away, or, like, I see it and then, like, I do stuff, and so it's, like, an hour or two, and then I respond, and then I'm like, oh, they didn't immediately respond to what I sent them.
I do not open a Snapchat until I am in a position where I can respond. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I'm also just not afraid. Half the time when I send snaps back, though, I just take it of whatever's in front of me. I'll just be walking down the street and I'll just take a picture of the street, or I'll just be sitting in my living room and just take a picture of the TV,
send my face
or something like that. Yeah, I feel like I'm the opposite. I hardly ever actually send my face, so I don't need to super be prepared in that regard.
I have a desire to see the other person's face. Because if we're not going to send pictures of our face and we're just sending words, we might as well be texting.
Exactly. That's why I'm not so into responding so immediately, I think, because I'm like, this isn't going to lead to a lasting conversation.
Yeah.
This is just something that I'm just going to send one thing back, and they might send one thing back, at the end of the day, and that'll be it.
Okay, well, what's your opinion on response time when it comes to text messages?
I think it depends on, it definitely depends on the person, and depends on what's being said in the conversation, and it depends on how long the messages are.
Question, do you have your read receipts on? Well, do you say read or read receipts?
I say read receipts.
I say read receipts, too. Do you have your read receipts on?
I do not.
Me? Neither. I did for a while, but I'm a weenie, and I don't want to have to deal with...
I would just work around it anyways. I would just see the message.
And then I wouldn't open it.
And I won't open it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, you didn't even gain anything from this because it's still a lie.
No, I turned mine off. Does having your read receipts off change your response time?
No. I think I'd probably be about the same regardless. I'm definitely better, I think, with answering texts than I am with Snapchats. Like I just said, how terrible I am with answering Snapchats. But I think I'm better with answering texts, and it definitely just depends for response time with texts, what's going on in the conversation. Mm-hmm. If, plans aren't being made, or it's not, we're not thoroughly discussing something, if it's kind of just, more flippant text, or if they're incredibly long, covering multiple things, text, Grant sends novels, but we only send, that once or twice a week.
I guess what I'm asking is, when you are texting a romantic interest, do you deliberately wait? You're like, oh, he texted back and it took him 15 minutes. Do I have to wait 15 minutes? Do I wait half an hour?
I am bad at playing games like that because because in all honesty, my interest in talking to them typically outweighs my need to not seem clingy or desperate, if that makes any sense. So they'll respond and I'm like, oh, they took a long time to respond, maybe I should take a long time to respond. But then I'm like, no, I actually just want to talk to them. I'm just gonna immediately respond. With specifically with romantic, if a romantic partner were to text me and I responded within 5 minutes and then they didn't respond for 2 hours, I would still respond probably within 15 minutes, because I'd just be like, you know what, I don't care, I just want to carry on the conversation.
Yeah. I think about it more, but I don't really change my behavior that much, if that makes any sense. I think about waiting and then I'm really impatient. But it was really nice this last go round with football, because I felt like I was wrong, but I felt like we had matched interests, so I didn't feel pressure to have any power dynamics, because that's what it is. It's a power dynamic game. It's oh, I'm too busy to talk to you. It's just to make you feel like you're in control of the situation. I don't know. I go back and forth. I used to, but I don't anymore.
I probably used to when I was younger, but now if it's someone that I just genuinely want to talk to and I'm...
Yeah, back when I was in my prime in 7th and 8th grade, I definitely did. Because that was my prime. I was talking to more guys then than ever. Probably ever again.
I will say another reason that I don't respond is because I'm genuinely trying to think of something to say, and I just either don't know how to word it, or I don't have anything good to say yet, and I'm like, it'll come to me later.
Well, that's another thing about being on the phone. I feel like I don't overthink what I'm saying. I think I'm funnier over the phone. I think that I don't know, I just come across better.
It's easier to riff off one another and easier to do stuff like that when you're directly talking to someone, whereas if you try and make a lot of jokes in succession or do something like that via text, it can easily get interrupted or misconstrued or just not go as well.
And I said this on the podcast about dating apps, but I'm so bad at them because I'm just so much better in person. I am terrible at communication over text in any context. Okay, what is your opinion about sliding into people's DMs?
I've never done it. I don't think.
I've never done it.
I can't recall any time I've ever, like, seen someone and then just, like, DM them on Twitter, Instagram, or something.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, social media etiquette is on that front, but I just don't think I would. What is your, like, what would you be receptive? Has somebody done it to you before?
I honestly don't think so. The people that I've talked to, like, with romantic intentions, I either met them in person, through friends, or literally through Tinder. So that was the whole point.
So it doesn't have to be reciprocated. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, this is a thing. But, like, has anybody just, like, slid into your DMs and been like, hey, shot their shot?
I don't know, because I'm very low profile on Instagram and Twitter and things like that. Like, I literally have, like, no followers on either of them. I will say the one time that kind of happened to me this is almost a decade ago, like freshman year of high school.
It happened to be in high school too.
It happened on Facebook. And it was hilarious to me because it was this guy that I thought was so cute on MySpace, and I had a crush. And I thought he was so cute. And I think I actually maybe I did try to slide into his, like, DMs on MySpace.
Wow.
And he was kind of just like, who are you? And then, like, a year later, after I had blossomed and got my braces off and started to grow boobs, he was like,
oh, wait, that's MySpace.
Yeah, he messaged me on Facebook and was like, how do you go to this high school? And, like, I've never seen you. You're so cute. Basically something like that. And, I mean, the joke was I
go to the high school.
Go to that high school. I went to a different program.
Love it.
But,
you're like, that's how you don't know me. I don't go there.
I know. I'm like, that's just my base school. I just thought it was hilarious. I felt such sweet, sweet vindication. And yeah, that was the only time that someone's really done that.
Yeah, in 11th grade. This is so sad that I'm like, yeah, in 11th grade a guy messaged me. No,
and I've been riding that high for years.
Well, I was gonna say nobody had slid into my DMs that I know of, but this is true. He messaged me and he was like, how much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. And I freaking swooned. I mean, like, nothing ever came of it, but I was so pleased that because I thought he was hot. I knew he was a hot mess, though, like, he had a reputation. But I was like,
mine was a hot mess as well.
Wow. I mean, that's probably why they were sliding in our Facebook messages. I will say present tense on Tumblr. I get just randos.
Oh, yeah, I lied to you. I completely forgot that Tumblr existed as a platform.
Well,
I've had non-anonymous and anonymous people message me on Tumblr, like in my questions box, ask box, whatever. Sounded so old just then. In my questions box. But no, I've had people, like, reply to stuff and, like, put stuff in there. And
I had a guy, oh god, I'm gonna look it up. It was the cringiest message. I had posted a picture, which is my fault. I should never do that, but I did. Here it is. I pulled it up. It goes, absolutely mesmerized by your pictures. Heart eye emoji. Would like to send you a picture, in parentheses, of my body. To show you how you get me. But, if not, that's totally fine. Please keep up the good work! Exclamation point. I'm like, interesting combo of sexually terrifying, but also polite.
I just love, in parentheses, of my body.
I like,
just so you know what you're gonna get. Like, he was gonna keep it a secret, but then he's like, oh no, I gotta tell her. It's gonna be of my body.
I like the part where he said, keep up the good work. And I'm like, I will. Thanks, random stranger. Well, and, like, the picture I posted is, I've been doing this thing recently where when I've been by myself, I'm outing myself on this podcast, where I'm, like, in bars or whatever, and and I go to the bathroom by myself, I take a mirror selfie and post it on Tumblr.
It's a very specific ritual.
It's something I just started. I only have, like, 3 of them up. But,
have you done this when I've been out with you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands, and then I take a quick selfie.
I just think it's funny that it happens in complete secrecy.
Well, now I've outed myself because it's a
like, I feel like that's something you would mention to me when you came back.
Nah,
you'd be like, "Ha, another pic for my Tumblr."
Shame of the mirror selfie, but yeah, because I would not call myself a mirror selfie girl, but there's something about being 2 drinks in that makes me feel like a mirror selfie girl.
I don't think I can do mirror selfies.
Well, have a couple drinks and go to the bathroom and we'll see. Yeah. Anyway. And then, I also get some, real grip. It's just Tumblr. It's just the clientele there, though.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't. Can you close your ask box?
Oh, yeah. You can turn it off.
I should do that.
You can turn off your ask box.
Because I got
completely, and you can turn off anonymous.
Dick pic the other day.
Oh.
Well, I mostly don't get any interaction, so it doesn't really matter.
But, is that a submission?
No, he just sent it in it was it was a different guy, but it was, that picture must have been real good, because got a lot of response.
Interesting.
I just like the notes. I just like attention. When they like it, I'm like, yep, feels good. That's what I do it for. The dopamine.
Brain, please release that sweet dopamine.
Sweet dopamine. Oh God, that's healthy and fine, I think. Would you be receptive to if somebody, present tense, that you did not know but was attractive, slid into your DMs on Twitter?
Would I be receptive? It depends. I feel like that depends on a lot of things.
And they weren't terrifying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how creepy was their first message? Do they live near me, or is this some random
that's the thing.
person in France sending me something, and I'm clearly nothing can come of this. Mm-hmm. Nothing that's not just straight up sexual in nature.
Yeah. You could be pen pals.
I almost had a pen pal once. What an uneventful story that is. Yep, let's just leave it at that.
All right. Well, I don't when you said pen pals, that makes me think of when you talk to somebody on a dating app and then you never make a date and then you talk indefinitely.
Oh yeah.
I've had a bunch of those pen pals.
Total
goofus move.
That is a goofus move. Gallant sets times and places to be.
Gallant makes dates. Goofus just
goofs off.
Yeah, goofs off.
Wonder how they came up with his name.
Well, we're not good at sliding into DMs. Maybe you are. If you want to get in touch with us, slide into our DMs at thelonelysluts on Instagram and Twitter. We also have a Gmail that you can slide into. Do you slide into email?
I think you just email.
Okay, fine.
There's no way to make it simpler.
Yeah.
To do it in any other way.
Well, you can email us at thelonelysluts@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. We would love to hear from you. And we'll talk with you again next week. Bye.